Good afternoon po. Good afternoon. Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. Today is May 7, 2026. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contract 26FL0002001 Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Secondary Roads, Gate, Bulan Airport Road, Bulan, Sorsogon. And 26FL005, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Off-Carriageway Improvement, Tertiary Roads, Roads-Irosin-Sn, Roque-Bulusan Lake Road, Bulusan, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Joanna C. Calagos, Back Chairman. Levi D. Pura Jr., Back Vice Chairman. Jessalyn R. Aguila, Back Member. Dave Clint B. Aguila, DPWH Head, Present po. Glenn L. Inicio, Back Secretariat. Pamela Crystal C. Duarte, Planning Representative. Madam Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron po tayong quorum and wala po ng contractors na nag-attend.
Since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is not called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows. First, basic contract data, requirements and bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, supplemental to be issued, questions, comments from the bidders, the replies at the back, and other representatives of the procuring entity, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Pamela Chibagpo.
Basic contract data, contract ID 26FL0002, contract name 001, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Secondary Roads, Gate, Bulan Airport Road, Kilometer 630 plus 525 to Kilometer 631, and Kilometer 643 plus 772 to Kilometer 644 plus 194. Contract location, Bulan, Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract or APC is 20,073,920 pesos. Source of fund, GAA 2026. Contract duration, 90 calendar days. Predetermined and workable number of days, 26 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 25,000 pesos. Submission of bids scheduled on May 21, 2026 until 10 a.m. Opening of bids May 21, 2026, immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work, RMA. Scope of works, this project covers preventive maintenance work such as application of top coat, laying, spreading and compaction of hot mix asphalt overlay, 15 mm thickness in one segment, and repainting of pavement markings. It also includes installation of street lights in specified road segment. Objective is to improve road quality and extend lifespan of national roads. Here are the geotag photos and the environmental clearance. Here are the necessary certifications, the certifications for validation, for compliance, specifically the material prices and the equipment rental rates. Here's the detailed engineering design plan, the summary of quantities, the vicinity map, the cross sections, requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, the DPWH Blue Book Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Here's the bid data sheet. These are all downloadable from DPWH website or the PhilJobs website. The special conditions of contract also downloadable from DPWH website or the PhilJobs website. The bill of quantities, Minimum manpower requirement. For project manager, must have handled infrastructure projects. Project engineer must have handled similar projects. Materials engineer, DPWH accredited materials engineer. General construction foreman must have handled similar projects. Safety and health officer must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. Minimum equipment requirement: asphalt distributor, power broom, tow type, asphalt paver, pneumatic tire roller, tandem steel roller, water truck or pump, cargo or service truck, and applicator machine required 1 unit. Kneading machine, truck-mounted crane, straight boom lift, dump truck, all models, backhoe with breaker, motorized road grader and payloader required 1 unit. Basic contract data for contract ID 26FL0005, contract name, 001 ensure safe and reliable national road system, Off-Carriageway improvement, Tertiary roads, Irosin to San Roque to Bulusan Lake Road, to kilometer 633 plus 790 to kilometer 633 plus 882. Contract location, Bulusan, Sorsogon. Approved budget for the contract or ABC is 1,056,440 pesos. Source of fund, GAA 2026. Contract duration, 24 calendar days. Predetermined and workable number of days, 9 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Submission of bids scheduled on May 21, 2026 until 10 a.m. Opening of bids, May 21, 2026, immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work, RCP. Scope of works. This project includes site clearing and excavation of the proposed off-carriageway PCCP with a width of 1.5 meters and thickness of 0.20 meters including reblocking works. It also covers preparation and compaction of the subgrade and subbase materials and installation of chevron signs. Objective is to rehabilitate and stabilize road shoulders to prevent edge failures. Construct shoulders along priority tertiary road segments. Shown here are the geotag photos and the application for CNC for the environmental clearance. The necessary certifications, the detailed engineering design plan, the vicinity map, the SLD, and the cross sections. Requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, the DPWH Blue Book Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. The bid data sheet, these are downloadable from DPWH website or the PhilJobs website. The special conditions of contract also downloadable from the DPWH website or the PhilJobs website. The bill of quantities. Minimum manpower requirement, the project manager must have handled infrastructure projects. Project engineer must have handled similar projects. Materials engineer, DPWH accredited materials engineer. General construction foreman must have handled similar projects. Safety and health officer must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. Minimum equipment requirement, dump truck, all models, payloader, bulldozer, backhoe with breaker, motorized road grader, vibratory roller, water truck or pump, transit mixer, all models, cargo or service truck required 1 unit.
Chair, pwede ba? I'm sorry.
Mas ma-discuss po na ako sa
Hindi mo.
Key points po, the lowest calculated responsive bid will be used as criteria for award. The amount of the advance payment is 15% of the contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payment shall be first charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted at the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity within 10 days of delivery upon the notice of award. Submission and receipt of bids. Sinusunod po natin ang two-envelope system where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical requirements and the second envelope contains the financial proposals. Ang bid validity po natin is 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Sealing of markings of bids. Two envelopes po containing, the first envelope containing the original technical and eligibility documents and the second envelope contains the original financial documents, all enclosed in a single envelope marked as original bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract to bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient, bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time, due open bids. Ganun din po sa copy 1. All enclosed po yung original bid and copy 1 bid shall be enclosed in a mother envelope. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract with bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient, bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time, and opening of bids. Unsealed and unmarked bids shall not be accepted. Not properly compressed and password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bids shall be accepted. Improperly compressed and password protected shall be accepted. Okay. Submission and receipt of bids. Bid modifications shall be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. The bidder shall submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. Withdrawal of bids. Letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electric submission of bids, bidders shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong two modes of submission of bids, either manual submission of bid or electric submission of bids. For manual submission of bids, yan po ay sa box Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids naman po yan sa electronic bids_sorsogon2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Reminders po sa ating bidders, the bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng kanilang bids. Eligibility criteria. The following persons and/or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding of infrastructure projects. A. Duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines. Persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per section 52.4.2.1 of RA 12009. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under any treaty or international or executive agreement as provided in section 4 of the Act and the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract we bid, at least 50% of the ABC. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC of the contract to be bid. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in the bidding must be in the procurement request list (DRL) of the PhilJobs website and secure a printout copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those already enrolled should keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH Contractor Profile Eligibility Process, CPEP, and subject for further post-qualification. We encourage po ang ating mga bidders to enroll po sa CWA to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. If they are registered in the CWA, ito po ang kailangang submit. Pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. For those naman po na hindi pa naka-enroll sa CWA, ito po ang mga documents na kailangan nilang isubmit. PhilJob Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership, in accordance with Section 20 of the INFRA. Pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture agreement, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Bid security in the form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2% of the ABC. Surety bond callable upon demand, 5% of the ABC. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng ating panibagong bid securing declaration. Please refer na lang po sa RA 12-009 form. Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreement. Latest general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission. For corporations lang po ito. ISO 9001-2015 certificate or its latest version as applicable as per Department Order 1110 Series of 2020. Omnibus Sworn Statement duly notarized. Please be guided po ulit ng ating panibagong format ng ating Omnibus Sworn Statement. Any omission of the clauses in the Omnibus Sworn Statement shall be grounds for disqualification. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature, and complexity of the contract will be. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Ito po ang sample ng ating bid securing declaration, Omnibus Form Statement. Okay. For second envelope naman po, it shall contain the bid forms, sum of the bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimate including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule, other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided po ng panibagong format ng ating bid form. Please refer na lang po sa ating RA 12-009. Any omission po sa clauses ng ating bid form shall also be grounds for disqualification. For detailed evaluation of bid, ang purpose po niyan is determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method and non-discretionary criterion shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid figures and bid price inverse, the bid price inverse shall prevail. The total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity, the unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items The actual sum of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating bidders of the no contract rule, prohibition on communication with bidders from the bid evaluation until the award of the contract. For post qualification, ang purpose is to determine the lowest calculated bids complies and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions specified in the bidding documents to be declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. The method po is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. Compliance po sa ating DO9 series of 2012. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the opening of bids, the bidder shall submit a certificate that 1. The person will be put out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded to the contract. 2. She will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reasons for bidders' disqualification: make sufficient bids, submission of patently insufficient bid. Under patently insufficient bid po yan po, submission of expired field job certificate of registration, failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae. Failure to submit the required bid form, kung minsan po yung lumang pong bid form ang nasusubmit. Submission of an incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms. Submission of bid form, bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Insufficient NFCC, insufficient SLCC. Thank you.
Okay, may questions pa? So since we have no more matters to discuss, this